안녕하세요. We are in Seoul, Korea. I'm with my family here for about 3 days, exploring Seoul and all the different neighborhoods. As you know, I had such a fantastic time wearing the kimonos in Japan. I knew I had to do the hanbok in Korea, and I will say it was like a lot easier. I just picked the skirt, and then we just put on the hoop skirt and this little top. So it took like maybe 10 minutes to like select and put it on. What? Yeah, she wants it. 什么颜色？哦，看到了，再转过去。 Now we are at the traditional palace, and we saw the changing of the guards with all the different flags. I will say there's so many people in hanboks. It feels like almost like an Instagram spot to like take photos. I didn't learn too much history, but it was a very beautiful palace and very different from like Chinese temples. We stayed in Myeong-dong, which is an easy choice. It's the center of Seoul and one of the busiest shopping and food areas. Every night we walked through the crowds to get to our hotel, and sometimes it was too chaotic for us at the end of a long day. Another neighborhood with great nighttime appeal is Hong-dae. Its main attraction is all the young buskers singing and doing K-pop dances. It was super fun and lively. What are you saying, Maple story time?
Maple story time.
It was cool to see Korea dedicate like a whole section of this theme park in Seoul to MapleStory. MapleStory is something that my brother and I grew up playing.
I got a little blue slime. Blue slime. Oh!
It's the slime!
It's the slime. That's big W.
One. We also shared an account for a time, and we would just switch on and off between trying to play.
Backseat game. That was a good time. I remember playing the Jump Quest, Carnival PQ, Ludi PQ.
All the PQs.
Okay, all the PQs. And we'd buy Next On. Oh, that's me.
You actually get to create your own MapleStory character, and it shows up there. We're now inside Lotte World, and actually the MapleStory bit is like just a small corner, but there was some really cool merch stores that we were able to get some gachapons. There's about 4 rides. There's like the EOS Tower, like a mini drop, and then there's like a pink bean one where you like swing. You know, that's a pretty classic ride. And then there's also one called Stone Express, which is pretty cool, and it goes like up in the air. And they're also playing MapleStory music, which is really fun.
为什么进这个让你回忆起那个快乐的童年？
Seong-su is another amazing neighborhood known for its viral trendy shops and pop-ups, like this multi-floor space-themed sunglass store,
or this delicious salt bread bakery, and also this photo booth spot where you can take photos from inside a fridge, a laundry machine, or a fish tank. I would have loved to spend more time exploring this area, but we spent 2 hours in the Olive Young store. K-Beauty, obviously a huge driver for the South Korean economy. I hadn't heard of Olive Young before, but it's everywhere you look. And they had thousands of products, from cleansers, toners, moisturizers, face masks, and of course makeup.
I don't know, there's a lot of stuff. We went to the seong-su branch and also the one that's like right underneath our hotel. The seong-su brand was a lot cooler and had like different floors, and I think they displayed their products really nicely. But I did get sucked into buying a lot of things. I think for stuff I actually needed, I needed a lip balm. So I got this one, and also a hand cream, hydration creams. We have the Innisfree green tea and the Laneige water bank. I also got this hair oil, which I really liked. It makes my hair look really good. This eyeliner from Clio. And my parents and brother also got some hand creams, face masks, and some other lotions as well. We got this little goodie bag as well that comes in the Olive Young color, and it has like a little face mist in it. So pretty good haul.
It's our last day in Korea, and each of us are picking one thing we want to do. Starting with my mom, she wanted to go to this cartoon street. It's very close to where we're staying in Myeong-dong. It has lots of cute cartoons and characters for graffiti, and she specifically wanted to take photos with this one.
What are we at?
We are at DDP. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It was an okay time. It's obviously very beautiful on the outside, but there isn't actually that much to do in this giant building. Just like a small golf pop-up, but it did put us in the area for what my dad wanted to do. We've been jokingly calling it cao, which roughly translates to stinky ditch. But it used to be an open sewer, but it's so beautiful now, and I could have walked the whole 6 miles.
I actually really wanted to get like K-barbecue this whole time. We're here at Insadong. It's another like little market area. And we finally found a K-barbecue place as our last meal, so I'm really excited. You guys don't understand. It was so hard to find dinner, like it is every single night. We're all very picky, as it turns out, with like, you know, what the restaurant looks like and what we're eating.
Daddy is like always going doing what I say, yulampan, and then currygase.
我们到了台北，台湾。
今天我们来到第一个点就是中正纪念堂，是纪念蒋介石的，这个很有意义哈。哦，它的珍珠奶茶非常好吃，它那个珍珠呢比较软，是现场做的。
Good brown sugar flavor, good boba texture, very milky.
I love this park. I just want to walk along this park. Zhongsan Park is this mix of concrete and nature. There's markets, there's seating. It's very peaceful. And then on both sides, you have a whole grid of alleys with the coolest shops and actually affordable clothing. What? This is a store?
是不是你也会在某个夜晚忽然被同一种味道拉回那个转弯？香水的神奇一直没散去，在人海最拥挤的空气里，闭上眼深呼吸，你又走向我里，好像故事从来都没有离开过这里。
是我们第2天在台北，我们去永和去吃早餐，就是台湾特色的早餐。我们点了一个蛋饼，跟一个豆浆，跟一个 salty 豆浆，有很多 like soy sauce。点了一个饭团 and we also had some 小笼包。I think if you like grew up eating this breakfast, it would be very nostalgic. But I thought the food was like, you know, pretty. It was like fine. Now we are going to the National Plaza Museum. Basically, Daddy wanted a big seafood dinner.
He looked online according to chat, and chat said that this was a good place to have a seafood cooked dinner. And despite all of us telling everything on Google Maps said this was raw sushi and just raw sushi, chat said that there was cooked food. One bowl to share for the entire family.
So we've actually had beef noodle soup 3 times. That was really fun for me to try because I had like a whole beef noodle soup phase. And I will say, like, you know, it's cool to compare. Some, like, the meat was so good, and then some, the noodles were better, and some, like, the broth was better. Yeah, so it's been fun to try. Our final boss on this Asia trip is Shanghai or Shanghai. We actually came here almost 10 years ago, and the skyline to me hasn't changed that much, but you let me know. It still features that bund tower. As you can see, it's crazy busy, or as the Chinese say, yuan-san, yuan-hai. Tomorrow, though, we are going to this Pudong street that features an LV cruise ship, and also one of the largest Starbucks roasteries is in Shanghai. We're also going to some new shopping areas like Wukanglu and Anfulu. Center of Shanghai is this beautiful garden called Yuan, and it was built by this guy for his parents, and it's super beautiful, and there's so many like water walkways and beautiful trees. It's really nice.
We are nearing the end of our trip, and you must have at some point wondered why we did 3 cities in 3 countries in 9 days. The truth is, my parents love China. We would have spent our entire time there, so I'm happy to have convinced them to explore Seoul and Taiwan, even if it was just a taste. It doesn't really matter where we are, as long as we get to spend quality time together.